Feel the heat behind your eyes. Not the heat of fatigue, but the pressure of unshed tears that are not about sadness. It is the pressure of a great body of water rising behind a dam, a reservoir of something ancient and unwept, something that has been carried in your bloodline for generations and has now, finally, reached the surface in you. Feel the strange, fluid ache in your hips, a sense of them wanting to unlock, not from stretching, but from the memory of carrying something vast and formless. This is not imagination. This is not stress. This is the first signal from the deep. It is the resonance of a gate that has just swung open in the silent, starless waters of the cosmos, a gate that has been sealed for 13 years. You are feeling the tide turn in a place that has no shores. You are feeling the pressure change at a depth your conscious mind cannot fathom, but your body, your oldest and wisest animal self, remembers this current. It knows this water. This Pisces new moon is not like the others. You have felt it in the restless sleep, in the dreams that leave a residue of salt and longing on your skin when you wake. You have felt it in the sudden, sharp desire to walk away from conversations that feel like they are made of stone, to dissolve connections that demand you hold a shape you have outgrown. This is not a personal failure. This is not you becoming unstable. This is the gravitational pull of a celestial alignment so rare, so specific in its purpose, that it arrives only to unmake the world you have so carefully built, so that the one you were born to inhabit can finally emerge from the depths. Within the next 3 days, this portal reaches its widest aperture. It is a doorway made of mist and starlight, located in the most hidden corner of the zodiac, and it leads directly back to the source code of your own soul. The last time it opened, you were a different person entirely, living a life you can barely recognize now. The next time it opens, 13 years from now, the questions you are asking today will have become your answers, forged into the very bone of you. But the forging happens now. The work is now. I am here to walk you through the pressure. I am here to give you the language for the water that is rising inside you. Do not turn away from it. Let me explain what is happening above you, so you can understand what is happening within you. A new moon is always a moment of sacred darkness, a cosmic reset, a planting of seeds in the fertile void. But a new moon in Pisces is the void itself. Pisces is the last sign, the final water, the great cosmic ocean into which all things dissolve before they are reborn. It is the sign of dreams, of spirit, of what connects us beyond the veil of the material world. It is the womb and the tomb of the zodiac. Now add to this the presence of Jupiter, the great expander, the planet of faith, miracles, and sovereign truth, which has been journeying through these same mystical waters. But the true key, the element that makes this a once-in-a-generation event, is the specific degree of this alignment. A point in the sky that awakens a dormant cycle. Think of it like a key turning in a lock that has been rusted shut for 13 years. This is not just a new moon. It is the awakening of a promise you made to yourself a very long time ago. A promise to return to a truth you knew before you were taught to forget it. The ancient Chaldean priests, the first star watchers, would have called this a moment of divine dissolution. They understood that some celestial alignments were not for building empires or winning wars, but for the sacred act of surrender. They knew that the gods of the deep waters did not speak in commands, but in feelings, in currents that pulled the soul toward its true north. In the Vedic traditions, this alignment corresponds to a moksha gateway, a portal of spiritual liberation, where the karmic knots of the past can be gently, irrevocably untied, not through struggle, but through release. It is a release that feels like a loss at first. It feels like you are losing your grip, losing your mind, losing the story you told everyone you were. This is the signature of this Piscean portal. It does not add, it takes away. It dissolves the scaffolding you have mistaken for your own bones. It washes away the name you have mistaken for your own soul. It is a holy emptiness, a sacred forgetting. And your body is the first to know. The heat, the aches, the fluid pressure, these are the signs that the dissolution has already begun. You are not breaking down. You are being unmade. This is why you have felt so porous, so sensitive. The membrane between your inner world and the outer world has become impossibly thin. You are hearing the unspoken grief in a stranger's voice. You are feeling the exhaustion of the trees in your neighborhood. You are absorbing the frantic energy of the world not as an assault, but as a deep, resonant hum beneath your own skin. This is not a weakness. I need you to understand this. You have been taught to shield yourself, to build walls, to armor your heart. But this portal demands the opposite. It asks for your complete permeability. It asks you to become the ocean, to allow everything to pass through you, to let the world's pain and the world's joy wash through your nervous system without clinging to any of it. It says, stop holding the river. Let it flow through you. For the next 48 hours, your greatest strength is your undefended heart. Your greatest power is your capacity to feel it all and let it go. The old mystics would say you are becoming a divine instrument, a channel through which the universe can feel itself. The fatigue you feel is the effort of trying to hold a shape against this immense, formless tide. Stop trying. Let the edges of you blur. Let's speak about the water. Not just the symbol of water, but the literal water in your body. The blood in your veins, the fluid in your cells, the salt water of your tears. This celestial event is speaking directly to the 70% of you that is ocean. It is creating a sympathetic resonance, an internal tide that is pulling on every memory, every trauma, every dream stored in your tissues. That tightness in your throat is a dam of unspoken words. That churning in your gut is a whirlpool of unfelt emotions. That ache in your lower back is the weight of ancestral burdens you have been carrying as your own, burdens that were never yours to bear. For generations, your family line may have suppressed its grief, its rage, its wild, untamable joy. They stored it in their bodies, passed it down as genetic memory, as silent contracts of silence and survival. And now, it has reached you. You are the one standing at the shore of this great inherited sea, and this Piscean tide is pulling it all to the surface. Not to drown you, to cleanse you. It is asking for release. It is asking for a witness. It is asking for the cycle to end here, in your body, with your breath. Think of the great myths of submersion. Jonah in the belly of the whale, not as punishment, but as a sacred, dark, silent incubation. A place where he had to lose his identity as a prophet to find his connection to God. Think of the Sumerian goddess Inanna, descending into the underworld, stripped of her jewels and her power at each of the 7 gates, until she hangs naked and lifeless, utterly surrendered, before she can be reborn. This is the archetypal journey this portal initiates. It is a descent into the deep, into the unconscious, into the places within you that are dark and wet and full of forgotten things. You have been living on the surface, navigating by the sun and the charts you were given. But the real treasure, the real map, is at the bottom of your own ocean. And you cannot reach it by swimming. You can only reach it by sinking, by letting go, by trusting that what feels like an ending is the beginning of a profound return. The pressure you feel is the pressure of the deep, preparing you for the treasures it holds. You are not being crushed. You are being initiated. This is a quiet apocalypse, not of fire and earth, but of water and mist. It is the end of a world, your world, the one you built out of duty and expectation and the desperate need to be safe. You have played a part for so long, you have forgotten it is a costume. You have answered to a name for so long, you have forgotten it is a label. Now the water is rising, and the costume is becoming heavy. The ink on the label is starting to run. You can feel it, can't you? A voice that has been whispering for years. A voice that says, "This is not it." A voice that says, "There is more. There is something truer, something wilder." For years you have pushed that voice down, dismissed it as fantasy, as childishness, as ingratitude. You have called it self-sabotage. But it was never self-sabotage. It was your soul speaking its native tongue. And this Piscean new moon is turning up the volume on that whisper until it is a roar, a current that can no longer be ignored. The life you have been living was a boat. It kept you safe. It kept you dry. It got you this far. But you are not a passenger. You are the ocean. It is time to let the boat dissolve. Let's name the unnamed truth. There is a conversation you are not having. There is a decision you have been postponing. There is a dream you have labeled impossible and locked away in a cellar in your heart. You know the one I mean. I do not need to name it for you. The moment I say the words, it rises in your throat, a pressure, a heat. That is it. That is the thing this portal has come to claim. It has come for the truth you have been carrying like a smooth, heavy stone in your pocket for years, the one you touch when no one is looking. The world you have built is designed to keep that stone hidden. Your relationships, your job, your daily routines, many of them are elaborate fortifications built to protect you from the power of that one simple, terrifying truth. What is it? What is the truth that if you spoke it aloud would change everything? You are not who you have been pretending to be. You do not want what you have been taught to want. You are grieving something you were never allowed to mourn. You are in love with a life you have not yet had the courage to claim. This portal is a moment of radical, divine honesty. The waters of Pisces dissolve all illusions, all pretenses, all masks. And the first illusion to go is the one you have been holding with yourself. You can feel the structures weakening. The arguments you use to convince yourself are starting to sound hollow. The excuses are losing their power. The fear is still there, of course, but something else is rising alongside it, something that feels strangely like relief. The exhaustion of upholding the lie is becoming greater than the fear of the truth. This is the turning point. This is the grace of this alignment. It does not force you. It simply makes the truth undeniable. It makes the weight of the inauthentic life unbearable. It is a loving, cosmic pressure that says, "My child, it is time. Let go. Let the story fall away. Let me hold you in the deep, dark water of what is real." The choice is not whether or not the old world will end. It is already dissolving. The choice is whether you will go willingly, or whether you will cling to the wreckage until your hands bleed. I want you to consider the image of a wine cellar. For 13 years, a certain vintage has been aging in the dark, undisturbed. It is a vintage made from a harvest of your own experiences, your secret longings, your quiet rebellions, your unexpressed gifts. It has been fermenting in the unconscious, growing in potency and flavor, becoming something rich and complex and utterly unique. This Pisces new moon is the moment the cellar door is unsealed. The pressure has built to the point where the cork is ready to be released. What you have been calling your confusion, your discontent, your strange melancholy, is actually the scent of that vintage, the first intoxicating aroma escaping from the cask. You have been afraid of it because you know its power. You know that once that wine is opened, it cannot be put back. Once you taste it, you will never again be satisfied with plain water. This portal is not an invitation to take a sip. It is an invitation to open the cask and flood the entire house. It is an invitation to become intoxicated with your own deepest, most authentic essence, the truth of who you are when no one is watching and nothing is at stake. The fear is real, but the thirst is realer. This is not a time for grand gestures in the outer world, not yet. This is a time for stillness, for listening, for profound inner communion. The work of the next 3 days is subtle, quiet, and internal. It is the work of surrender. I am going to walk you through a practice, a ritual of alignment, to help you consciously cooperate with this cosmic tide. This is not about manifestation in the way the world understands it. This is not about asking for a new car or a better job. This is about dissolving the parts of you that believe you are separate from the divine, separate from your own deepest truth. This is a ritual of return. You will need 3 things: a clear glass of water, a small bowl of salt, and a piece of paper and a pen. And you will need your own body, your own breath, and your own courage. The ritual takes place over 3 stages, corresponding to the 3 days of the portal's peak intensity. Tonight is the first stage. Tonight, before you sleep, find a quiet space where you will not be disturbed. Place the glass of water in front of you. This water is the cosmos. It is the great Piscean ocean. It is the amniotic fluid of all creation. Now take the bowl of salt. Salt is the earth, the body, the structure, the crystallized form of things. It is the story you have been living, the identity you have been holding, the fears and obligations that have given your life its shape. One by one, I want you to name them, aloud, but in a whisper. Name the fears. I am afraid of being alone. Name the obligations. I must take care of everyone else first. Name the beliefs. I am not good enough to have what I truly want. Name the identity. I am a survivor. I am a responsible person. I am the one who holds it all together. With each whispered declaration, take a single grain of salt and drop it into the water. Watch it. Watch it as it hits the surface, holds its shape for a second, and then begins to dissolve, to disappear, to become one with the water. Do this until you feel an emptiness, a sense of having named all the walls of your own prison. You are not destroying them. You are offering them back to the great ocean for transmutation. Then, take the piece of paper. At the top, I want you to write the words, "The truth I have been hiding." Do not think. Do not censor. Let your hand move. Write the conversation you need to have. Write the name of the person or situation that represents the expired story. Write the dream you have been denying. It does not have to be a paragraph. It can be a single word, a drawing, a symbol, whatever comes. Let it land on the page. This is your stone. This is the truth you have been carrying. Do not read it over. Do not analyze it. Fold the paper once, then twice, then a third time, making it small and dense. Now, hold it in your hand and pick up the glass of water. The salt has dissolved. The water is now charged with the essence of what you are releasing. Hold the glass in one hand and the folded paper in the other. Feel the weight of both. The weight of the story that is ending, and the vast, formless potential of the water that is receiving it. Do not put the paper in the water yet. That is for the final day. Tonight, you simply sit with them both. You are the space between what was and what will be. Place the glass of water and the folded paper beside your bed as you sleep. Tonight, your dreams will be the boat that carries you across the water. Pay attention to them. They are messages from the deep. The second day is about the body. When you wake, the first thing you must do is drink the salt water. All of it. It will not taste pleasant. It is not meant to. It is a physical act of reintegration. You are taking back the energy that was locked up in those old forms, those old fears. You are consuming your own limitations, not as poison, but as medicine, acknowledging that they served you, they protected you, they brought you to this exact moment of readiness. As you drink, feel it entering your system, becoming part of your own inner ocean. This is an act of profound self-compassion. It is saying, even my prisons were built of holy material. Throughout this second day, your only task is to listen to your body. Where do you feel the current moving? Is there a warmth in your belly? A tingling in your hands? A sudden urge to stretch a part of you that has been dormant for years? Your body is processing the dissolution. It is untying knots at a cellular level. Do not force anything. If you feel tired, rest. If you feel like weeping, let the tears come. If you feel a strange, unbidden joy, let it bubble up. You are a living alchemical vessel. Your job is not to control the process, but to witness it with reverence. On this second day, you must also avoid noise. Not just loud sounds, but psychic noise. Avoid confrontational conversations. Avoid the news. Avoid scrolling through the curated lives of others. Your permeability is at its peak. You must protect your sacred space. If you can, spend time near natural water, a river, a lake, the ocean. If you cannot, take a bath or even a long shower. As the water runs over your skin, imagine it is the water of Pisces, washing away not dirt, but definitions. Imagine it dissolving the invisible lines that tell you where you end and the rest of the world begins. Allow yourself to feel formless, fluid, boundless. This is a day for being, not for doing. The universe is recalibrating your entire energetic system. The mind will resist this. It will want a plan. It will want certainty. It will tell you this is indulgent or foolish. Thank your mind for its concern, for its lifelong service in keeping you safe. And then gently ask it to step aside, just for today, and let the wisdom of the water lead. You have spent a lifetime navigating by the mind. For one day, navigate by the tide within. Now we come to the third and final day. This is the day of emergence. The portal is at its widest. Your system has been cleansed and recalibrated. You have sat with the truth. Now, you will give it back to the elements. Take your folded piece of paper, the one that holds the unnamed truth. You have not looked at it for 2 days. Do not look at it now. Its power is in its essence, not its specific words. Hold it to your heart. Feel the vibration of it. Acknowledge the courage it took to write it down. Acknowledge the life you lived that made this truth necessary. Thank it. Thank the pain. Thank the confusion. Thank the waiting. It was all part of the path that led you here, to this moment of release. Now you have a choice, guided by your intuition. You can take this paper to a body of moving water, a river or the sea, and release it into the current, watching it be carried away. Or you can bury it in the earth, in your garden or in a pot, planting it like a seed from which a new life will grow. Or, if you feel called to a more rapid transformation, You can burn it safely, watching the smoke carry its essence up to the heavens. The method does not matter as much as the intention. As you release the paper, you must speak a declaration aloud. This is the key. You are giving voice to the shift. You can use these words, or you can use your own, but they must be spoken. Say, I release the story of who I was. I release the need to be small and safe. I release the fear of my own depth. I step through the portal of my own becoming. I allow the truth of my soul to be my guide. What was hidden is now revealed. What was bound is now free. It is done. Feel the words vibrate in your chest, in your throat. This is not a prayer of asking. It is a declaration of being. You are not hoping for change. You are announcing its arrival. After the release, stand in silence for a few moments. Feel the space that has been created inside you. It might feel empty. It might feel vast. It might feel terrifyingly open. Do not rush to fill it. This emptiness is the womb. This is the fertile darkness in which the new seeds will be planted. Your only job now is to protect this sacred space, to honor the stillness, and to listen for the first whisper of what wants to be born next. Some of you who are listening to this are standing at a crossroads in a relationship. You have felt the distance growing, not as a rift, but as a slow, sad drifting apart of continents. The love may still be there, but the energetic contract has expired. You are no longer growing in the same direction. This portal is bringing that truth to the surface with an unbearable clarity. The discomfort you feel is the pain of pretending. The practice I have just given you is especially for you. The unnamed truth on your paper is very likely about this connection. Releasing it is not an act of aggression or betrayal. It is an act of love for both of your souls. It is honoring the fact that some stories, even beautiful ones, have an ending. It is giving both of you permission to seek a shore that is true to who you are now, not who you were when you set sail together. The dissolution this portal offers is a gift. It can allow for a gentle, conscious uncoupling, a melting of bonds rather than a shattering of them. But it requires your honesty. It requires you to stop pretending the boat is not taking on water. For others, this is about your work in the world. You have built a career, a reputation, a measure of success, but you go to sleep at night with a hollow ache in your chest, a sense of profound misalignment. You are climbing a ladder that is leaning against the wrong wall. Your soul came here with a specific song to sing, a unique gift to offer, and the work you are doing is silencing it, day by day. The whisper of this is not it has become a constant companion. This portal is dissolving the golden handcuffs. It is melting the fears about security, about what other people will think, about starting over. It is reminding you that your true security lies not in a paycheck, but in your alignment with your own spirit. The truth on your paper is about this sacred calling. Releasing the old story is the first step toward answering it. It does not mean you have to quit your job tomorrow. It means you stop giving your life force to the lie. You begin the inner shift, the quiet reorientation toward your true north, and you trust that when you align with your soul, the universe will conspire to support you in ways your fearful mind cannot possibly imagine. And for a precious few, this is deeper still. This is about a core identity you have carried your entire life. The identity of the victim. The identity of the unworthy one. The identity of the one who was wronged. These identities were forged in real pain, in real trauma. They were necessary survival mechanisms. They kept you safe. But now, they have become the cage. You have defined yourself for so long by your wounds that you have forgotten the vast, unwounded essence of your own being. This Piscean portal is the ultimate healer. Its waters are washing over those old wounds, not to erase the memory, but to dissolve the charge, to release the poison of the story you have told yourself about the memory. The truth on your paper is the statement of your own divinity, your own wholeness, a truth that has felt too arrogant or too dangerous to claim. I am whole. I am powerful. I am free. Releasing the old story of your brokenness is the most terrifying and most liberating act of all. It means you have to let go of the sympathy, the excuses, and the strange comfort of that familiar pain. It means you have to take responsibility for the infinite creative power that you are. It means you have to be reborn, here and now, in this lifetime. You did not find this by accident. Something in you, the part of you that is still connected to the great ocean, recognized the turning of this tide before I ever spoke a word. Your presence here is not a coincidence. It is a confirmation. It is your soul saying, yes, now, I am ready. You have been sensing this shift for weeks, for months. You have been preparing for this moment without even knowing it. Every moment of dissatisfaction, every strange longing, every quiet tear was your inner guidance system leading you to this gate. You are not behind. You are not late. You have arrived at the exact, perfect, divinely orchestrated moment. The courage it took to listen this far, to allow these words to land in you, to feel the resonance in your own body, that is the only courage you need. You are already brave enough. You have already answered the call. The work of the next 13 years begins in the silence of these next 3 days. The seeds you plant in this fertile darkness, through your intention, through your release, will define the next chapter of your life. Do not underestimate the power of this moment. Do not let the cynical mind dismiss the sacred. You are standing in a river of grace that is flowing directly from the heart of the cosmos. All you have to do is allow it to carry you. Surrender the oars. Let go of the shore. Trust the water. If these words have found a home in you, if you have felt the truth of this transmission in your own bones, I invite you to make a declaration. In the space below, I want you to write the words, I am open to the water. That is all. It is not for me, it is for you. It is a way of anchoring your intention, of making it manifest in the world. And it is a gift to every other soul who will come to this space after you. Someone will read your words beneath the weight of their own fear, and they will find courage in your declaration. They will see your light and know they are not alone in the dark. Your simple act of witnessing becomes a beacon for others. I spend countless hours in study, in meditation, in communion with these ancient cycles, translating the language of the stars so that the course for you might be clear. If this guidance has served you, your subscribing and turning on the bell for notifications allows this work to continue. It ensures that when the next great tide turns, you will be among the first to know. Let go now. Let it all dissolve. You are held in the arms of the great, loving, infinite ocean. You are coming home.